Okay, so I'm live right now. It's going on live. So I went live because when I tried to do the record, something funky was going on. It's still doing it. It's stopping at 1 second. It's so fucking weird. I have no idea what the hell is up with that. I might be my PC. I have no idea, but we're gonna go ahead and play this real quick because we're gonna fast forward all the way to the pirate trial. So let me hurry up and get through this. Took me a while to get there. Ah, here it is. Yeah, let's go ahead and play the cringe.
Be the spirit. Listen to our shanty carefully and shoot the pirates in order to sing it back.
Oh Lord. Why are we doing this?
Parties. Sing shanties.
What a waste of 2 minutes. I agree. Looking at Iron Fist and OK
Hope your
show.
memory be sharp.
Yeah, it does.
This is fucking stupid.
Yeah, you're right. What was the worst about Iron Fist?
Respectable positions
Well, I
of
remember Iron Fist got weird.
Oh my god.
Danny got his powers by killing a dragon. So it's like, oh, dragons exist in the
Girls
I remember it was, I don't remember, there wasn't.
respectable positions of power.
Why the fuck?
Maybe a little
I wonder why this game has gone out the deep end. The dance is right goddamn there.
That's all I remember about it. Maybe it wasn't. No, I remember season 2 being really stupid. Like, you could transfer the power from just with one transfer.
Pause it because you basically get the gist of it. Yeah, that was horrendous because that was the pirate song in Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and it was awful, very fucking awful. Because not only did they treat you like a goddamn child, but they also decided to enforce some hashtag representation on in the game that I thought we was already covered because Rivet is still in the game regardless. But no, no, no. Insomniac had to show me what was basically going on behind the scenes and why Ratchet and Clank 2016 was such a crap fest. And this is why. And then it adds up when I played Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, not once but twice, because the game is actually fun to play, but I played it twice. And I noticed some things. Some things in the game. Like, you can only play as Rivet in the arena. You can't play as Ratchet. Why? It's Ratchet's game. Why can't we play as Ratchet in the arena? What's up with that? Oh, because it's her turn. I've been watching a lot of YouTubers, specifically Gary, as basically all of them, the whole cast for Fighter Night Tights and Geeks and Gamers. I've been watching all their stuff, and they basically have already explained this crap to me. And it happened in Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, but people didn't pay attention to it because the game was fun to play. There was a whole bunch of crap in this game that I did not like. That was one of them. And you heard my complaints that it was just awful, it was stupid, and it was ultimate cringe because it was horrendous what they fucking did in that pirate song. But not only that, but you can only play as Rivet in the arena. Why? Like, I love Ratchet and Clank Deadlock. You got to come up with a good reason that why Ratchet is not a playable character 50-50 in his own fucking franchise and one of the games in his franchise. His franchise. It's not fucking Rivet's franchise. No, there is no Cher. She's a side character. She's a side character. Yeah, she's likable, but she's a fucking side character. She doesn't need to be a main protagonist in Ratchet and Clank's game. It just don't. It's not necessary. People play the game for Ratchet and Clank. Rivet and Kid can be side characters for all I fucking care. I don't give a damn about them. Okay, so I'm basically here to basically using this stream to basically point out that yes, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart was indeed fucking woke. Straight the fuck up. Just about as woke as Last of Us 2 because of how they went about the game. Hold on, this fucking ad. I gotta get rid of this ad. a Final Fantasy 14 online ad on the Game Facts. That's a good ad because it's actually good, and it's not trying to rip you off. No credit cards or anything. But I mean, you do have to buy the game, but still, it's none of that rip off bullshit. So I'm gonna read this this Game Facts, which is how much of the game is mostly Rivet. I can tell you from playing the game like 3 times total. I think I played the game 3 times. You play as Rivet like almost damn near high 70% of the game. 30% is Ratchet, and Clank doesn't do shit in the game, which is another fucking problem that I had. Bitch my ass off at that fucking fact that Clank has remained useless in the whole game until the very end credits. Meanwhile, Kid has her own super robot mode, and she gets to be a badass. What's Clank doing? You just sit on his ass with a broken arm. Could Ratchet and Rivet fixed him in the middle of the game? Yeah, they could have, but you know, they didn't. And nobody wants to point out that that's kind of a fucking problem, and it's the same bullshit that's been happening everywhere else in the fucking media. It is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is not fucking exclusive. So I'm gonna read his initial post here on Game Facts. I keep calling it Facts. Game Facts is what I call it because the Q looks like a G. No, it doesn't. I keep just calling it that because I don't know. This is Game Facts, but I call it Game Facts on personal. So I'm just doing this live stream because I couldn't do the recording. So I'm not worried about your views or anything. I just want to make my point. I just got to the second map of the game, not including tutorial. I was wondering if this game is going to be a Last of Us 2 situation where the main character is, surprise, removed and you play as someone else for the half of the game. Or if this is just a short temporary thing. It's neither, but it's still, I mean, like I said, Ratchet you don't get to play as Ratchet in the arena mode. So you chew on that while you ponder whether Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is 50-50, because I can tell you that it's fucking not, and that's just a fact. So here's a bunch of fucking idiots that are too blind to see that the game was in fact woke, because you play mostly as Rivet in the game, not Clank. You don't play as Clank, and you don't play as Ratchet because Clank doesn't do shit. Doesn't do shit, so you don't play as them separately. So the game. So we'll read this from Junk Blossom. The game jumps between the two in a balanced manner. Just far, I'm over halfway through. No, it does not. It's not balanced. If it was balanced, you will be able to play as fucking Ratchet in the arena mode. You don't get to. Why? It's his franchise. It's bullshit. There's no fucking excuse for it. There isn't no, oh, it's her turn now. Fuck off. She's fucking new to the whole franchise, and it's Ratchet and Clank's franchise, not hers. If she had her own if she was a spin-off, and that's where she debuted, then I might not have much of a problem. But no, she debuted in Ratchet and Clank's main game, one of the main games, and she takes the majority of the screen time, and that's bullshit. You don't fucking do that. Straight up, you don't fucking do that. I'm against the whole the boys must share their treehouse that they built with the girls. Fuck that noise. I hate that shit. It's utter bullshit, pure bullshit. Because as the last time I checked, they could function on their own, and they could do damn things their own fucking way. They have their own viewpoint. They have their own mental processing. They have their own mental understanding of the fucking world. They can go do their own damn shit. We don't have to fucking split every fucking thing with them just because they exist. So I'm against that. So if that's your excuse of why Rivet is majority playable, you're a fucking idiot, and you don't understand what woke actually is, because this game actually is indeed woke. All right, so Yoha Broha. So he says half the game. It also isn't really much of a surprise. It was for me, especially when I realized what they did in Ratchet and Clank 2016. So Paragar is kind of on not my side of the spectrum with this. Not necessarily my side, but anybody else who agrees that Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart was actually indeed woke. And I just played that fucking pirate song. So make your arguments as you would if you don't agree with what I'm saying. But he says it is lame, but whatever. He's not too bad. And Enigmatic Flame says it's about 50-60. I say it's 60-70. And he responds, "What the fuck?" Yeah, he's kind of right to say that because she's supposed to be a side character. Yeah, you can play as her. That's fun and all, but she's not important. She isn't. The important characters in the game is Ratchet and Clank, and their main characters, which is Captain Quark. Skidman Marks was supposed to be a main character, but that's the old games were supposed to be more goofy than they are now. I don't know what they're doing now, and that's kind of this kind of adds to the problem. And here's Cheater Master, basically not understanding what the issue is because he's probably new to Ratchet and Clank. I probably started playing in Ratchet and Clank 2016. He didn't play Ratchet and Clank in 2002. I didn't beat it, but I did play it, and it was fucking great. I played Ratchet and Clank, Ratchet Deadlock, which is my all-time favorite. It's fucking fantastic. It's fucking fantastic. It's an epic ass game. Or badass shooting, mindless beating people with your wrench. It was a jolly good time. I loved it, even though the game was repetitive. And Cheater Master says, is something wrong with the game being about Rivet too? I mean, she's an alternate universe version of Ratchet, so it makes sense to be about her too. Well, she didn't really do shit in the main game. She just defended her dimension, and that's about it. That's all of her importance. She doesn't really do anything else, and she doesn't really add to the story. I mean, it's not like Ratchet. Like, what is she? What else is she going to do in the Ratchet and Clank franchise besides existing? Like, there's no real justification that Rivet gets to be a main character just because she's nice to Ratchet. That's great and all, but she should stay in the side character lane. She shouldn't be a main character right off the bat. Like, it took Captain Quark a while before he became playable and became a main staple and a real main character, because he was used to be just a comedic side character in the original games, but it took him a while to get there. To become a main staple, so to become a main character, not main staple. He's been a main staple, but I meant main character. So, Yaha Broha responding to the Paragars, what the fuck? He's responding. Did you have some mental breakdown realizing half? It's not half. Meant 50% here? It's not half. It's not. It's definitely not half. I played the game and it's basically it's at least 60, almost to 70. And here's Master Chief. That's okay. So he doesn't say the asinine thing. Someone else does. It sounds like you're worried about agenda pushing. There is agenda pushing. This game doesn't do that at all. Yes, it does. I just played the pirate song. It does. It does. Rivet is a good addition in my opinion. She's okay, but that's not what happened in the game. And I can give a nice little explanation once I read good to this. Here's Paragar. If that's the case, it'll be fine. Just been one game after the other recently. Yeah, it has. The Ratchet and Clank franchise has gone to shit. Yeah, I've seen gaming Bridge videos, and he basically explained it. I haven't got the chance to play all the games. I only played the original and Ratchet Deadlock, the 2016, and Rift Apart. But I'm very familiar with the franchise and good old classic 2002 gaming. But I only played a few of the games, but I remember how badass Ratchet used to be. They do the shit out of him in this game. Yes, this game is woke, and yes, it does have a fucking agenda. Because Ratchet is not who he used to be. Ratchet and Ratchet Deadlock was a badass. He was hilarious. He was whimsical. He was cool. He was still nice. He was still a good guy, but he wasn't a biatch. Basically, he wasn't a bitch. He wasn't somebody you could bully just by saying something mean to him. Now he is in Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. And who's the badass character making a whole lot of threats to her enemies, being a badass, swinging that hammer first. Questions later. Rivet. Clank. Ratchet never made any threats. He has little to none badass moments in this whole game. He's a little bitch in this game, and nobody's calling it. A few people have called it out, but according to this fucking thread that I'm reading, nobody seems to notice. Because they fucking don't want to. That adds to the problem. Alright, and here's a dipshit going a lot of insecure masculinity in this topic. Yeah, the fact that you fucking brought that up is kind of the meaning that you're leaning on the side of, well, you think Lady Thor is a good addition. Sorry, I'm looking at my TV because I want to make sure that the screen didn't go to idle mode and stuff. I was looking at my TV screen. It shouldn't be on right now, but it is. So yeah, so if you're going the insecure masculinity route because you don't know how to respect the franchise or respect the character, and you don't want to pay attention to how Ratchet has changed from Ratchet and Clank Deadlock to Ratchet and Clank 2016, you're the fucking problem in this. It's definitely not us or anybody who. This is your go-to. If you're a go-to, you're the problem. Sorry, I cut off because I was reading this. I'm an easily distracted type. But yeah, you're definitely the problem in this because you think that a female character should just shove herself into a male-dominated franchise and just steal the spotlight. It's not the same as Ahsoka Tano either in Star Wars: The Clone Wars. It's not the same thing. It's not because Anakin, he is technically speaking still a little bitch, but he was more of a badass in the Clone Wars. He had moments, and that was to show his character flaws. But he wasn't a whiny bitch majority of the fucking time like Ratchet is. Yeah, this is gonna be another long one. Sorry. Pretty much 50% of the game, but don't worry, Rivet is a great character. It surprised me too, but I really like her. And I was one of the people who hated having to play as garbage character Abby in The Last of Us 2. The only reason why you hate to play as Abby is because she killed Joel. Just because Rivet is nice to Ratchet doesn't mean the bullshit that went down in Rift Apart is okay. It's not. It's not okay. Okay, here's Clarinet. A lot of insecure masculinity. He's responding. How so? In The Last of Us Part 2, surprise twist switches from playing as a female to playing as a female. Playing as a female wasn't the issue people had with the character the game switched to. Anyways, so this is going back to the initial part. Rift Apart is not a Last of Us 2. Last of Us 2 or Metal Gear Solid 2 situation. I didn't play that game, but I think it's similar. While you'll play about the same amount, no, you won't play as the same amount. You'll mostly play as Rivet. Between the two, you swap between the two for the entire game. No, there is no surprise. Ratchet has been replaced with he wasn't replaced, but he's been shafted to the back seat or the passenger seat in this whole ride. Planets are split between Ratchet and Clank, Rivet, and let's see here, 5 Rivet planets. Well, that doesn't look like 50-50 to me. It's not 50-50. 4 planets and Rivet gets 5. I wonder what the offset is. Is it the arena mode? You bet your ass it is. It definitely is the arena mode because that arena mode takes place on a planet. You won't be able to explore as Rivet on Coruscant 5, nor will you be able to explore as Ratchet on Sargasso. It's not a 50-50 split. Ratchet has the prologue, while Ratchet and Rivet share the epilogue. No, they do not. The finale was all fucking Rivet. I'll just start going on the details on that right now. The finale was all Rivet. She got all the finale. Ratchet didn't really do much in the finale. He doesn't get to fight Nefarious. Neither of them. There's 2 Nefariouses in this game. He gets to fight neither of them. Rivet gets to fight both of them in one-on-one combat. And speaking of that, going into the finale, Kid has her super robot mode, and while Rivet's in her final boss phase with her Nefarious, Kid is seen in the background and stomping on Nefarious's lackeys, looking all badass and whatnot. And I couldn't help to notice that I haven't seen Ratchet and Clank do something as badass as that since the 2002 game, in their finale. But the Ratchet the 2002 game got remade, and that finale was nowhere seen in the Ratchet and Clank 2016. So you don't get to see Ratchet and Clank be badasses for a very long fucking time. Starting with the 2016 fiasco, they fucked that up real nice and royal. Oh, but Rivet and Kid, they get their badass ending. Where's Ratchet and Clank's remastered badass ending? I want to see Clank stomp on some side baddies while Clank is going a 1v1 with the main boss of the game. I want to see that, and the nice updated graphics. No, I only get that in the 2002 game. In 2002, the way back when. Where's Ratchet and Clank's updated badass moment in their own fucking franchise? Why does Rivet and Kit get one, but not Ratchet and Clank? It's their game. They're on the title. So why one over the fucking other? And some stupid asses, based on this comment section, probably some stupid asses who aren't going to justify saying that this is not that big a deal. It actually is, because it's the same bullshit that's been going on all over the place. Yeah, there's the anti all the YouTubers that I watch. There's a revolt going against them because they don't like what they say. Basically, they don't like the truth. They don't like to see the truth. They just want to be mindlessly entertained and consumed. That's basically what I'm getting from this feed. But yeah, they neutered Ratchet and Rift Apart, and they gave a badass finale to Rivet and Kit, as if this is their game. It's not their game though. It's supposed to be Ratchet and Clank's game. It's supposed to be Ratchet and Clank's franchise. You're not supposed to pull that bullshit under the rug crap. You're not. But that's what they did, and I don't give a damn whether she's nice to Ratchet or not. She dominated the entire game. She basically just inserted herself into Ratchet and Clank's franchise in one whole game, and stole all the feed, because Ratchet and Clank don't get to be badasses. Only Rivet and Kit do, and I'm telling you that's bullshit. And going off of that pirate song, I know exactly fucking why, because they think that the women have to be propped up. And everybody in this comment section probably thinks that, because they don't want to face the facts that Ratchet was shat on in this game. So I'm gonna read this. Rivet and Kid are actually more fun as characters. I want them to have their own game. They're more fun than Ratchet and Clank. Well, yes. There you go. There you go, right there. This whole line, and from Chickstick, right there. They basically just agree with that crap ass pirate song. And so Rivet is about 60% of the game. Yeah, that's more accurate. Yeah, about 50%. She's not as good as Ratchet, but Ratchet didn't do. Okay, as others said, if you're worried it's anything like The Last of Us 2, don't be. The game was woke trash. This is not it. This is woke trash. And I have to point that out. Because they're not keeping it evenly. They didn't keep it evenly split. Ratchet was neutered massively. Because the way he was in Ratchet and Clank Deadlock, I'm gonna keep saying it as many times as I need it for people to understand that that's exactly what fucking happened. The way he was in Deadlocked is not the way he was in 2016 or Rift Apart, and that's just case in point. So, okay, here it is. If someone is avoiding a game because they fear a woke agenda being pushed on them, maybe try having the mental fortitude to not be so easily triggered or manipulated. Okay, that's not the solution to the problem, and that's not the issue. The issue is that it's our Western pop culture media is being destroyed. Specifically in video games, movies, TV shows. It's happening all over the place. It's everywhere. There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. You gotta fight back. You gotta push back on this shit. You gotta call it out, like I'm trying to do for this in particular. Like, as soon as I saw this website while I was trying to make a thumbnail for that for my pirate video. I wanted to make a good one, but this is what I came across as. Okay, I think most people just want a good and likable characters. Doesn't matter what their gender or sexual orientation is. No, we gotta establish some ground rules. If and when Metroid Dread came out, and I mean Ravenbeak was a pretty cool villain. I actually want him to come back. But if you got to play as somebody else and they stole majority of the game, and Samus Aran just sits there with her fucking hands thumb up her ass, people are gonna be pissed off. They in fact they were pissed off when that happened at Metroid Other M. That's why that game is hated so much. Because Samus Aran is in charge of her fucking suit. She shoots missiles. She charges the beam cannon, and she fires when she says so. It's her fucking suit, flat out. So when Adam started bossing Samus around as if she's one of her foot soldiers, well, fans were fucking irritated. It's the same shit here. We don't want to see the main character of the franchise treated like dog shit, and fucking Ratchet was. He was neutered in this whole game. So these arguments are fallacy and stupid. They're almost about as blindsided as fucking Lofty. That is clearly completely false, and least for this site. The moment an inkling of a female protagonist is mentioned for any game, the usual suspects start ranting about the agenda being shoved down their throats. Well, that didn't happen for Metroid Dread, so you're wrong. So he's basically explaining that the whole point of making you play as Abby from The Last of Us is to show you just how shitty everyone really is. Everyone really is during the apocalypse. Well, I think we got the gist of that in the first game. So we didn't need Abby putting a club to Joel's head. Not in particular. No. Side note: the moment a video game character's attractiveness affects your ability to enjoy the game, it's time for a new hobby. No, because that right there is mindlessly consume. Mindlessly consume is what he's fucking getting at. That he wants you to mindlessly turn your brain off and consume. That's basically what he says it right here in that last bit. My cursor is not visible, but my mouse is not visible on the screen on this display. But that's basically what he's saying. I skipped the rest of that, but you weren't expected to like playing as Abby. No, Naughty Dog had their agendas, and the YouTubers have pointed that out, and I stand by them on everything that they said. I did not play The Last of Us 2. I will not play The Last of Us 2. I will not watch, play, or view any trash content. I will view stuff that I enjoy and stuff that is actually good recommendation. Where that basically isn't filled with woke bullcrap or female agendas. I hate that shit because it's gotten fucking out of hand. 50-50, but possibly more rivet than Ratchet action. Thank you. Somebody is actually pointing out the fact that this is exactly it. It's not 50-50. It's 60-50. It's definitely 60-50 at least. She's a great character, so I really enjoyed playing as her. Yes, but that's not the problem. You could play as Rivet. Yeah, you played as other characters in the previous Ratchet and Clank games, like All for One. Yeah, that was it. All for One. You got to play as Captain Quark in that one. So no one has a problem with whether you are not able to play as Rivet. The problem I have is she's majority of the game. This is gonna be another 30 minutes, and I'm terribly sorry. It's terribly sorry. So I'll stop there. But that's basically it. So yeah, that's basically my opinion on it, because I enjoyed playing Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I thought the game was actually fun and all, but soon as I started noticing the woke agenda, that's when I started to loathe and hate this game. I have not played that game ever since I bought it. Yeah, it's good for mindless fun, but I want to play as Ratchet. I want to play as Ratchet from Deadlocked. I want that guy back. I want the badass Ratchet. One who swings, who will put bad guys' heads to his wrench. That's the Ratchet I want to see. Clank can be the passive intellectual, but Ratchet can't be that way. He has to be the shoot first, ask questions later type of guy. He has to be the badass. because that's who he was in Ratchet and Clank Deadlock. That's who he was even after the first Ratchet and Clank game. Even with his attitude adjustment, he was still the badass. He was just the go-to guy. All action, Gundam blazing, let's think in more action. That's who he is. So the fact that fucking Rivet was mostly of that side of his persona, and not Ratchet, was a big fucking bother to me. Hands down, there's no bullshit as argument you can make that will justify anything that Insomniac has done with. They didn't just do it with Ratchet and Clank. They did it with Spider-Man too. Spider-Man, the PS4 Spider-Man game. They did it there. They did it with from fucking Miles Morales because these companies have their fucking agendas, and I'm watching YouTubers as they point out all of their agendas. No one said anything about Insomniac yet, but we'll wait till Spider-Man 2 PS5 comes out. I don't know when that's coming out, but we'll see how that goes down. Because they had Miles Morales right, but they decided to fuck that up. Okay, so I'm go ahead and end the stream. I had to do a stream to record my thoughts for this because the recording button something's wrong with my recording button and it's fucking weird. But yeah, this is another one of my hot takes. It's hot take number 4 that coming before another hot take that I was supposed to do. But Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart was indeed woke. I played the pirate song. You heard it. You saw it. You don't get to just brush it away. It's there. It's in your fucking face, and you got to be aware of this stuff because if you're not aware of it, you're not gonna be able to combat it. You're not gonna be able to stop it, and you're not gonna be able to make any proper changes that needs to be for gaming culture. So